Hello, and welcome
What up?
to the maybe second episode of the Greenzone. I don't officially know yet. There may be one out before this. There may not be. Today we have Travis Miller joining us. Travis, welcome, sir. I appreciate you
Ooh,
joining
thank you
us.
for having me.
Oh, I'm excited to welcome you as our first official guest of the Greenzone, other than our other co-host, Dirty Dan.
Well, it's an honor to be here.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you. Well, we were going to start off by getting into a little bit of how we know each other. So I'll allow you to take it away if you want to get into a little background. Let's start off about yourself, and then we can talk a little bit about how we met. So you can give a little background about who you are, how you grew up, maybe where you're from.
Okay. Born and raised in Southern California, the better half of California, I should say. Just kidding.
But it's true.
It's a little true. Came up here in 2013 to play football in 10 school at San Jose State, that's a whole experience that we'll get into. But I just work a regular 9-to-5 job and just try to enjoy life every day.
It's a good life. Hey, you want to do me a favor and just pull the microphone a little bit, just a simple stand.
Oh, for sure.
Just so you can see your face. There we go. We can see your face a little bit more. In the
My
camera.
beautiful face.
Yeah, it's gonna block a little bit, but we're trying to figure it out
Good.
as we go.
I'm not pretty, so it doesn't matter.
You're pretty in your own right. I believe you, my friend.
I guess so.
I mean, you always see I've seen how Travis magic works when it comes to ladies. So let's not see.
It doesn't work anymore.
I don't know about that. I think you underestimate yourself, my friend. Well, but yeah. So you talked about coming out here for football. How was that experience? Because I saw you go through it. Let's get into that in a bit. We can talk about like how we met and how we came to.
Let's see.
Become friends.
You rushed when?
Fall 14.
Fall 14. Yeah, I mean, Cody. This is funny. I haven't thought about this in a while. I think at first I probably didn't like you.
Most people don't.
And I don't know. Then I got to once you crossed in the house, it was nice to get to know you, and the football thing obviously was an instant connection. So we had a lot of common interests that way.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Then I found out you were a Colts fan, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, I understand.
I mean, I don't know if you remember. You used to always joke like Peyton Manning was ours, and I would be like, yeah, you're right, but we got the ring with him.
Yeah, that's true. We did too. We got the first ring.
Shocking for how good he was. He only had 2 rings. But, yeah, when we were in the house, we just got close. And I think one day, was I still playing football at the time?
When you were in the house?
No, when we first started going on our little adventures.
Yeah, I believe you were.
Was I still playing?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because we used to always joke with Cody, like, you should just, because you would just, like, drink, really. And we were like, you should smoke, blah, blah, blah. And then...
Never would.
And then one day you just like cave, or you're just like let's go.
What happened? It started with you. I think it was just because it started when I was cool, because I would always end up at Kappa Sig, drunk as shit. And I would occasionally smoke there when I was drunk. So I was like, all right, what would it be like to like smoke and not be drunk as shit? And then you like started inviting me out. We'd go out on like every Sunday and then go get McDonald's. The fucking tradition. What a good time.
Do you remember the song? Burn.
I do. Oh, fucking, I love that song, dog. Such a great song.
It honestly came on the car when I was driving here.
Every time.
I was like, oh, perfect.
I feel like it happened every time. It just happened to come on. It
was
wasn't
on
like
shuffle,
we played it.
and
Yeah.
we'd always be like pulling on like 11th or 10th. And all of a sudden, burn.
Dog. Oh, what a song. What a song. I wish I could just like play it in here as a little combo.
Just background music the whole
That'd
time.
be a good time. Oh, anyways. But yeah. And then eventually that kind of led into me actually starting to smoke a lot more cannabis. And then, who knew it? I would Kappa Sig always up there with little Mike. Basically spent a summer over there just smoking weed, and that kind of totally transitioned me back into fully into a stoner. Gave up the alcohol for the most part.
I miss doing it as much as I was, but
yeah, it's not for everybody, and it's not something everyone can do every time. Everyone has their own little mission with it, you know.
It's like the same thing with drinking. I drank a lot when I was playing football, and when I stopped, that kind of urge to escape kind of like went away.
Yeah.
Now it's like I'll have a beer or two, but now it's like I have a beer and it's like, are we getting food? Like, I need
I'm
tacos.
not trying to get fucked up. Yeah, there's no point. I mean, there is a point sometimes. It's a good time, but it's like once it has to be an occasion, once in a blue moon. You know, I'm not trying to sit here and down a few drinks because I'm gonna go to a, a house party for the night. I don't know, the good old times.
We love a good house party.
Yeah, satellite houses.
The best.
What was that one down off of 11th Street that we always go to? It was like the one where everyone lived.
Oh, the one on 22nd? No, not where they lived.
Off like no, off like 13th or 14th, down right off by the 280 exit.
Oh, the Kappa Sig one?
No.
Ours?
Yeah.
Oh.
We stayed there during I week. Where Tyler Curbs lived.
Yes, towards the freeway. Yeah.
What was the name of that?
What'd they call it? Not the lighthouse. Was it lighthouse?
No, it had like I feel like it had like some.
Had a very San Diego thing going on.
No, it was before that because they wanted to call it the Oasis, but it was something else before that.
Oh, I really can't remember.
I can't remember either.
It was a lot of good times though.
Oh man, a lot of good times. That house, that fraternity house. I mean, I feel like was just a time full of ignorance. I mean, we were drunk a lot. I mean, that's what college is for, you know. It's kind of that time to get fucked up, you know.
Because the oldest saying, "C's get degrees." So.
Yeah,
have a little fun.
That's not true. I mean, you guys should definitely study. I kind of regret not studying more. It's definitely on my, but part of it is too is like having a good time. I do know like people who did like, you fully don't develop as a person if you don't. You don't really get a chance to fully experience life as I don't know like an adult individual if you don't go through unless you decide to go a different route. But like if you're in college, you should at least give the party life a try. You don't have to drink, but at least hang out with the people, go and enjoy the time.
Yeah,
like
just be social.
Yeah.
Like don't be afraid to go say hi to someone you want to talk to. Don't be afraid to go to that like little event. Just try things. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Yeah.
But
it's tough for some people sometimes, I feel like.
Yeah.
They just feel like I mean, for me, like I am what I was before I was in college, where I'm just antisocial as hell. Like the thought of getting on a podcast is kind of like, oh, hey, that's a little putting myself out there. But at the same time, like I went through a phase. I went into college and said, I'm gonna be social. Like I'm gonna talk to people. I'm gonna like enjoy my time. And it changed me as a person for the better, for sure. And I feel like the fraternity definitely helped with that, made you definitely get out of your comfort zone and do some things you didn't enjoy. But it's a good time.
I never pegged you for like I knew you were a little antisocial.
Yeah.
But I never was like, oh, this man hates everyone, because I walk around saying I hate everybody.
I'm probably worse than you, and you don't even know it.
Probably.
But it's just I'm trying to be better at it. It's just like I don't enjoy constantly, like people just kind of get on my nerves sometimes. I'm not an everyday person. I think differently. I act differently. I'm autistic, so I mean, it's kind of part of it. But I found that like I have my friends and I have the people that I can truly trust and the people that I can have close to my circle, and and I have my acquaintances.
That's all you need.
Yeah, man. I mean, we were talking about this before, but just kind of like how in college you definitely feel like at a certain point, it helps you grow, and I believe it helps you grow because you do find yourself, because a lot of people are forced to fit into a certain culture or fit into, a certain stigma, and, some people do, and they either, they find themselves that's who they are, or they do, and it's like, I don't really enjoy this, and they try something else, and sometimes it outcasts you for being different, and it sucks, but it's definitely not, I feel like it's kind of constant, like it happens everywhere, it happens all the time, and it's not a bad thing. I just kind of feel like it puts people in different I don't know how to explain it, different
not like I don't want to say box, but like puts you in just a whole different like little category of how you want to experience the world.
Yeah.
How you want to just experience things.
Understanding.
Yeah.
I feel like a different level of understanding compared to like, I don't know. There's people out there who are just like, I feel like sometimes they just rely on just being a part of those social circles still.
Oh, it's
their whole image,
I think we got lucky because you were You were 96? You're born 96 or 95?
96.
96. And I think we got enough of no technology to like all that instant gratification you get when you post on like Instagram or when you like do stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, look at all these likes I get and stuff like that. Like, that's cool, but you don't need that instant gratification. You need someone real next to you who's going to tell you, yeah, that's dope, or no. Like, don't be doing that.
That's true. It's true. I mean, there's too many yes men around everybody, I feel like, these days. Like, I don't know. It's just, there's not enough people to be different or say, hey, I don't want to act like the normal. Everyone just wants to.
Everyone wants to fit in the same little social line.
Yeah.
Just keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Where you shouldn't. You should be willing to step out of line and be like, well, you know what? No.
Yeah, I'm
not going to do that.
That's not who I want to be. That's not what I want to be a part of, man. Like,
that's not me. Because I feel like more people eat themselves not being themselves anymore.
Yeah.
Trying to wear, like I said, like wear masks. Like, I'm not against having to wear like certain masks. Like, I think you're very, like when you go to work, you have to put on a certain personality. Because if everyone knew your intrusive thoughts at work, you wouldn't have a job.
That's speaking the truth.
And,
it's tough. I mean, but I feel like everyone has those thoughts, you know?
Yeah.
It's not just like a single person that's experiencing the struggle. It's kind of, it's not everyone has it, you know, the same. Everyone kind of has a different level of understanding of their, you know, their own mind and their own. I feel like a lot of people don't actually truly dive into like their feelings a lot, you know, and are willing to like talk about who they truly are as a person, you know? And that's what you're talking about with the masking, and then. Or they do, and they're kind of scared of it, and they're just like, I don't want to be a part of this, and it kind of makes them so like they're not. I don't know,
not always the best thing if you have like the one different opinion in the room.
Yeah,
it's kind of scary.
Yeah,
because you can get ostracized and outcasted real fast,
real quick,
with friends, family.
Especially in this world, man. It's such a cancel culture, bro. Such the cancel culture.
Yeah, everyone who sits there and goes like, I want to be famous. I'm like, you say one wrong thing.
Hell no.
It is game over.
I'd love to be rich. I don't want to be famous, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Just be incognito is all.
That'd be the goal, man. Why we sit here doing a podcast, but hey, you know, I'll put myself out there if it gets me somewhere at some point. I enjoy talking, and hopefully some of the shit I said is, you know. I
mean, as long as it helps one person... You help somebody.
That's the goal, man. That's the goal. At the end of the day, I feel like, especially like a lot of the shit that we come and talk about here is about weed, man. And people, there's a lot of negative thoughts and conspiracies, and honestly, we don't truly know what weed fully entails with the body in general. There's probably more side effects that we don't know about, but there's also a lot of benefits that people don't truly realize. Whether it be through smoking it, whether it be through using it through a topical or CBD tinctures, you know, ingesting it. There's benefits that people don't truly realize, and I think it scares people.
Yeah.
Because it's
so unknown, and it's been so... It was probably like the last like 20, 30 years, probably. It's been like really like, it's okay. Like to do this, it's okay. Like you have jobs that are even making it easier if you do occasionally smoke, like you're not going to get fired for it. Like even the NFL... changed their whole testing rate on how much you can test for.
For real.
So
yeah, because their window is only during the season. Really, it's like starts on 420 and it ends around by the end of the season. You know,
it's kind of cruel. It starts on 420.
Hey man, I mean at least you get to smoke up till then. You know, and that's if you're on this. If you get that first day, hey, you get tested, you're clean, go have a good time. I don't think the NBA tests at all though, or if they do, like it's not a big deal anymore, which is huge. I mean,
still a big deal in college. Street drugs are still huge.
It will be for a while, understandably.
Especially now with the whole NIL deals. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's honestly, people deserve to be paid. There needs to be regulation on it, but
how would you regulate that if you had a?
I haven't even thought about that. That's a good question. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm jealous as all hell.
Too little, too late. You could have been like the face of
if I was born 5 years later, I would have been like, yeah.
Yeah.
But no. It's cool. It's really good. But there needs to be there needs to be regulation. Just straight up. Because but so I was talking with someone who works in the compliance department for it. And I guess there's like, you can like accept the money yourself, or there's a way to like give it back to the team. Now I'm not sure if that's 100% true, because it was just a quick conversation I had with someone.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like definitely like there's levels to like what you can accept and what you can give back to like your team or share it amongst your team.
Interesting.
I think.
So
Not
what does that
100%
mean
sure.
then? Like, so like, you when you give it back to the team, like going back to the school or going back to like other players that they can like give it to.
I don't know.
Maybe it's the loophole. Maybe
It
it's
probably,
the
to be honest,
loophole.
it'd probably go back to the school.
I know, but what can the school use it for? Could they use it go spend it on another player? Or could they?
It'd probably be put back into just the school itself, buildings, programs, more equipment for.
Fuck the school. School gets a lot of money from, especially the big name programs. They're getting so much money coming in from just football alone. Football is carrying so many schools in terms of their sports programs. It's insane.
It makes you the most money, and it also costs the most money to run.
Yeah. Also, talk about college football. Why don't more people like fucking college football? College football is one of the best, most exciting things to watch ever.
I just think it comes to the breakdown of the conferences, because if you watch an SEC game, you're pretty much watching an NFL football game.
And it's a great time, though.
But then if you watch like a Mountain West or a MAC team go up against one of these like Big Ten teams, there's a significant gap.
But that's also why there's fucking 126 D1 teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like there's like, let's be honest. You wake up because college football starts at 9 a.m. ends about 11 p.m. at night, right? There is a good game at 9 a.m.
It starts at 6 a.m.
Oh, college game day, of course. If you're not watching college game day, like with my boy Pat McAfee on it, I wish. Oh, Pat McAfee has changed the game when it comes to college game day.
I was a little iffy on him at first, and I was like,
dog,
I like what you're doing.
No, dog, you should have seen him on WWE, because he was an announcer for a long time at WWE. He was crushing it. That's why he actually stopped to do game day. He left WWE. He was crushing it. He also had a match at WrestleMania this year. Dog. Oh. Shout out WWE. If you guys aren't fans, I understand.
Dude,
but
I miss those events. Those are solid. My dad took me to No Way Out at the Staples Center one time.
Good time.
12-year-old me was like, oh my, yeah.
Like, it's fake, but who cares? It's fun to watch. If you ever want to come through, I watch every one. So they're on Peacock. It's
Might have to. We have to go to an event at the SAP Center.
I'm definitely down. Daisy and I went to one at SAP Center. Is not that much fun, if I'm being honest. We just went to Raw we only stayed for like an hour. It's just like, it's not as
me and Anthony went to a Bellator event there, and it was awesome.
But here's the thing with WWE. Because it's in camera, you can cut it to make it look like it's happening a lot different than it is. So watching in person can be a little slow. Especially if you're not watching like a big, since I realize this too, if they're like coming to a small city like San Jose and it's not a pay-per-view, they're not putting on a great show. Like, even like I realized that I started checking the cities that when they would put on the big shows, and it was always the big cities. So they're in like, I don't know, Los Angeles, or they were in not even San Francisco. Like,
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, Phoenix or Seattle. Like, they always put on these big shows. They have all the big talent and all this, but it was like, oh, okay, like, it was cool, But I went home and I enjoyed it more on TV. Like, I would go to a pay-per-view though. If they had a pay-per-view out here, I'm down. I'm for sure down.
We'd have to invite Ivan.
I haven't talked to Ivan in a minute.
He's doing good.
He's married, ain't he?
Yeah, they got married. Speaking of people getting married, everyone's getting married. I'm happy for him.
I know. That's crazy.
It's just like, like, I got 2 more weddings to go to in September.
God damn, for who?
My buddy Dan, who I worked at 4th Street with, the tall, like, lengthy guy. I don't know if you remember.
Been to 4th Street. I didn't go out. I went out my 21st birthday, and that was it.
He was there. He said, but you were.
I was gone by the time I got there.
We did you dirty.
We all gotta talk about it.
Dude, I got done dirty on mine.
We all do.
I was chasing Ike around the house.
Oh, jeez. Tiny ass Ike. Oh, that's funny as hell, dog. That's funny. You and then who else?
No, Dave just got married in April.
That's crazy.
Dalton.
Oh, jeez, this year?
Yeah. I mean, they've been together for a long time.
Fair point. That's crazy.
Play softball with them on Mondays.
Used to.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah.
But if I get a boot, I'm back out there. Just kidding.
Damn, you're bold, dog. I hate the Achilles is tough, dog.
I know.
It's a tough life. I'm still going through it.
I wish I broke my arm or something.
Way better, way better, way better. Not to scare you, but fuck, it's
Trust me.
tough.
I'm so worried. They're like, it's never going to be the same. When you heal, it's not going to feel the same. I'm like,
No.
don't tell me these things.
It's true, and like for real, don't push yourself through PT.
Yeah.
Like, cause they, especially if the people won't push you, like, or tell them, like, hey, I want to work, like, cause I know you'll put in the work, but it's a tough, cause you got to strengthen all the muscles around it. That's the toughest part, and then it starts to build. But I know you'll push it through.
Woo, we got this.
Surely,
yeah.
dog. Not to scare you.
The slow and sure grind. Oh man.
It's a fun time, man. It's a fun time.
Which is just so funny. Like in college, what at most a couple ankles, my back would hurt every once in a while.
Your head.
Okay, that's just gonna happen. I played D line. It was gonna happen.
I understand.
But like I had teammates who like tore labrums.
Yeah.
Like all those nasty ones, and sure, concussion is not good and it's not great by any means, but it's like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. You should, some of the times when you would come home and like you'd see, like I would see you after a game and it was just alarming. Like, no offense, well, actually full offense, because that shit was scary. Like, it was nerve wracking. You would come home sometimes and you would like just like your eyes would roll in the back of your head for like 5 minutes and you'd just be sitting there like I don't know if you were having a seizure or what the fuck was happening, but like
Just tired and beat up, man.
I understand, but the way it happened was just like I know the difference between you falling asleep and whatever the fuck was happening to you, because it was two different things. I've seen you fall asleep because we've been talking and you'll fall asleep in conversation. That's a different story between that whole shit. That shit
I
was
will.
scary.
I still do that. All the time.
I've been to your house a couple of times. I remember one of the last times I hung out with you back at your old place, and we were just sitting there playing video games in your room, and all of a sudden I looked over and you were out. And I was like,
out.
all right, dog, I'm going home later.
I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. I gotta sleep. It's easy. It's a talent, actually. It's a talent.
It truly is. I can't
One of
do
my
that
many.
shit. Oh. Okay, let's see here. Oh, I mean, should we talk about?
I mean, when you talk about football, like SJ, because the culture change there has been so incredible. I've loved it.
Oh, do you still go back?
I don't go back personally, but like, I'll watch games if like I get them on like TV or anything. But
Go Spartans.
so when I played there, I'm not gonna name like the coaches' names or anything. I'll name the news coach, but not mine. He was a decent head coach. He had, I'm going to give him the credit, like he had the spirit, he had the energy, he wanted to like do it, but to be a head coach of a college team, there's a certain it factor. Like those coaches that you remember to this day from your childhood, they had that it factor.
Yeah.
Whatever made them good, it's how they either motivated you or how they critiqued you. There's just something about them when they spoke, whether they were yelling at you, talking to you in a normal voice, or like just coach, like that coach up like kind of voice talk. You just listened.
I think it was a level of respect, because I think coaches that respected their players got their respect back, but some coaches not the same.
Yeah, and especially when like they're yelling, you could hear the message.
Yeah.
You actually hear the message through the tone, because
Yeah.
they're yelling at. Once you realize they're yelling at you because they want you to get it, and it's like they know you can get it, and they're just getting frustrated that you're not getting this done.
Yeah.
It comes out a lot better. And also, one thing I learned is if a coach stops like yelling at you, coaching you up, critiquing you, he's giving up on you.
Yeah.
And you don't want that, especially in
fair.
college.
That's fair. Because they, I mean, I can't relate to college, but the program that I played at was top tier. I mean, I would say, especially for public
You say
schools.
Mission Viejo, it's in California. You're gonna.
You heard about it.
It's not up there with like like Modern Day or like
I would say
Certified.
so. I mean,
Modern Day.
in terms of, I mean, it's not like we've never beaten them.
True. But
like literally my freshman year, I wasn't on varsity, but the varsity team beat them to go to,
Okay.
and it was a killer game. I mean, it's not like we haven't never beaten Modern Day.
True. I'm not saying you never beat them, but it's just when you hear the name, like the program. It's like
Yeah.
when people say
Fair
like
enough.
IMG Academy now.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
the sports school, legitly a
yeah.
sports school.
Yeah, I get it. You're making a good point. I feel it. It's like right below that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got a good point. Okay,
No, it's like
I can see
it's
it.
definitely like if I was in high school and I'm like, who we playing? Like, oh, Mission Viejo. It's like,
Fuck.
okay,
You know we coming.
yeah, it's coming, and you're gonna have to. You better bring your A game because you can get smacked in the mouth from the go.
Damn. I wish I was better. I wish I could actually. I never actually really. I played JV. I started on
Yeah.
JV for my junior year, but never started on varsity. I didn't. I feel like I didn't come into my athletic prime until college because
I mean, if you had this body,
it was a different story. Yeah,
different story.
I was a little fat little boy, but
You weren't even fat. You were so skinny.
no, no,
When
no,
I
no,
first
no,
met you,
no.
you
In
were
football.
oh
In
in football.
Yeah, yeah,
You were
yeah,
still
yeah.
tiny when I first met you.
Yeah, because I shedded a shit ton of weight
You
before I got to college. I just
you
I
came in light skinned and mean and lean.
Yeah, yeah. I shed it down to like I think I was like 180 at one point. Like I went from 220 or 230 to 180. Like I was light, and then after pledging, because pledging I couldn't work out. I tried, but there's just no fucking way. And then that semester after, I was like, all right, I need to get in shape. Like I'm tired of being a fucking fat ass. And you could see the pictures. I had like abs and shit. Like I was like, oh okay. And I did that. I did one time, like when I think it was my last semester, because I was only taking my last semester of college. I was working. I was just working at Herbs, and I was working like 30 hours a week. I was only taking 4 units because I just had my senior project was 3 units, and that's a pretty difficult class. And I had the hardest. Oh no, that's 1 unit, and then I had EE 140, which is the hardest electrical engineering class of all the courses you take. So I was like, okay, just focus on that. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get in like shape. And I shredded down to 185, but I was like 6 pack abs. I had like lean ass muscle. I'll never do that again. So much work.
You looked like a lot of work.
So much work, dog. And like can't drink. Even with the smoking, like munchies, you gotta be careful. Like
It's gotta be like some cranberries.
yeah, especially working at a dispensary, dog, when like all the time, you know what they are always bringing munchies, dog, donuts and fucking pizza and different breakfast burritos.
Did
Oh,
you mess around, smoke a joint, eat a whole bag of chips in 20 minutes? And you're
oh,
like, oh no.
it's all bad. It's all bad. I'm trying to be better about that too, because the whole Achilles thing. I can't do a ton of cardio, so I put on a little bit of the. So I'm trying to lose some of that.
Cardio's overrated.
Yeah, and it's necessary. It's like I consider cardio like if you're trying to lose weight, it's 20%, 25% cardio, 25 to 30% weightlifting, and then 50% diet. Like your diet is the most important thing overall. Like that's all it really comes down to. If you're not having a good diet, the proper diet, you won't do what you were trying to do. Like, I don't think people.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, people don't take care of their bodies enough, which is.
Some like the smaller guys in college, they had to drink these shakes after workouts. They're probably like 16 ounces. They looked like chalk, like you liquefied chalk. There's just so much protein, peanut butter, granola, just all this. Some things I didn't even know was in there, but they had to like pound these after practice, after a workout, while we all have like 12 o'clock class to get to, and we get done in practice at like 11:30, 11:40. Shower, eat, get to class on time.
Yeah.
For class checks.
And you had to be in class.
Oh, you had to be in class.
I wouldn't have survived college football because of that aspect. Like, I can learn kind of things on my. It depends on the subject, of course. Like, but I can kind of learn it on my own, so I don't always go to class. That would fuck me over. Like,
Oh yeah. I mean, freshman year they didn't really do class checks, and then sophomore year, I guess they figured out a lot of guys were just skipping class or not going.
you have to. I mean, you're there for. You are a student first, student athlete. Now you're a paid student athlete. That's really what it should be.
Jealous.
Yeah. Not all of them are pulling in bank, but some of them are fucking.
But
making
still, though, if you could just even do
dollars.
like something small, like local, like if your jersey's like hung up at like some gym that you go home and train at when you like have breaks and stuff, like you can like get money from that.
Yeah, anything.
If they wanted to like sponsor you, obviously.
If you're smart enough, anyone can make money if you're in college, dog. Like, for any, like, because, I don't know. Like, this is one of the things that's kind of overrated, too, I feel like, about college, is you don't necessarily, the things you learn are not, it's not like you can't learn them. A lot of times you'll learn in the real world anyways, like, for certain degrees. Like, A lot of business degrees, to be honest. Like I feel like it's
Oh yeah.
not necessary. It's just because you're learning from people who technically failed. They're just teaching it. Not all the time. There are professors who are out there, very successful businesses that come back to help, but it's not like the most knowledgeable place. Like when you're doing like business or marketing and things like that. I feel like a lot of those like real world practical experience is gonna get you the best. Like go
Yeah.
start your own. Like go start something. I feel
Because the
like
market's ever shifting.
yeah.
So
Even engineering in a way, like you're just learning the theory behind the actual practical craft. You're not learning the practical craft. Like I wouldn't consider my degree in engineering that usable for me because I don't think I could truly apply it in terms of real world application. We did some and I did good in lab, but it's not like I truly grasped the whole theory. I grasped the theory but not the practicality of it.
yeah.
Where I feel like that's kind of common in electrical engineering too. That's why you see a lot of people ending up in like sales and shit. It's also a lot of coding, which is a surprise. I didn't know that.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, it's a lot of coding, but hey, it is what it is.
Coding. Can't code to save my life.
No, not a lot of people can. Not a lot of people can. Do
But,
you think like if you were playing football, would you do it like? Would you go back and do it all again
oh yeah.
from your experience?
Oh yeah.
No.
I mean, it was just being in that kind of environment, that locker room, like even like the trainers and like the athletic trainers who don't get enough credit, like because they have to put up with us.
Yeah.
Like our coaches are our coaches; they put up with us, all that stuff. But like when we have like a boo boo or we don't feel good, like we need someone to talk to, like that's who we talk to.
Yeah.
And just being in that world, like it's kind of hard. Even though like I went through and experienced all of it, it's just so. It's so nice. All the good, all the bad. It was just so cool to be there.
Yeah.
It was just amazing to experience, and all the teammates, like, because when you play like high school, it's everyone in your hometown. A lot of kids you probably went to like middle school with, and
Yeah.
you've like known growing up, play with them.
Yeah.
But in college, like you're getting guys from all over California, sometimes different states, and it's really interesting how you learn to mesh and
Meshing of
gel
culture. Yeah.
and just gel with each other. Because like I remember just being this guy on the basketball team. He was just called Memphis because he was from Memphis.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because like when you hear him talk, you're like, oh, you're not from here, obviously.
Yeah.
And then it's like certain things like we would say, like he'd look at us like, what does that even mean? And then he'd say things we're just like, what?
Yeah.
Are you speaking like
What language are you speaking?
Yeah. But it's just so cool, and just to be around all those people like who are really driven to be good at their sport, to be good at their craft, and
Yeah.
it was
You've had
very
some
rewarding.
successful people at SJSU too go to the NFL, right?
Yeah, Josh Oliver,
Where is he now? He was on the Ravens. His
he's on the Vikings now.
Vikings. Huh?
He's solid, dude. I mean, he's from
Tough place to back up, though, because these Hawkins Sox is there.
yeah, but I think they do a lot of two tight end sets. I'm not sure though.
They run the ball a lot.
He's a solid blocker too.
Okay. Yeah, because they
Just
run.
being in Baltimore, I think
They got Dalvin.
because
Oh,
he
that
was
makes
he was a
sense.
great route runner in college.
Yeah,
he was solid.
I remember.
I mean,
him
dude's 6'6", like 250.
Mm-hmm.
A big boy.
Damn.
Yeah,
That is a big boy.
He was like but like his blocking, like watching like Ravens games national, like seeing him out there, it's like yeah, look at him. And,
You got some skill.
yeah,
Okay.
and then there's another guy, Wes Schweitzer. He's in the league still. He's on. Oh man, where is he now?
Was that the O lineman?
Yeah,
He was on the Titans, right?
he's on the Titans now.
No, he was, right? I remember
He was on the Falcons because he got to play in
there-
he got to play in the Super Bowl where Brady came back.
Okay, because
He
there
started.
was a guard from SJSU on the Titans that scored a touchdown.
Oh, that was David Quisenberry.
Yes, that was dude.
He was the one. I don't know if you remember watching Hard Knocks when the Houston Texans were on it.
Yeah.
He was on there because he had cancer at the time. He beat cancer and came back.
Oh.
And got picked up by the Titans. And,
Well, at that time, I didn't know what San Jose State was at the time because I was back in.
that's right. You weren't even.
I was in high school. Yeah. I was a little child. And honestly, like I didn't truly understand college football until like later years of high school because I didn't give a shit. You know, teenager, angsty.
Yeah, no. DQ was a legend.
Did you play with him?
No, so he graduated 2013 before I got there.
Oh, okay.
So he was gone that spring because that was his senior year when they went to the military bowl. They won the military bowl, which they ended up ranked 24th in the nation at the end of the year. Which is crazy because that coach is the one that recruited me to come to San Jose State.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So, no, I'm mad.
Don't like him?
He went to Colorado because I was under the impression that he was going to be there. I met the D-line coach, Jeff Coate, super solid guy. I was so excited. And then I see on ESPN, McIntyre accepts job at Colorado. And I'm like, oh, no. Like, what does this mean? Because I wasn't committed anywhere at this time.
Yeah.
I'm sitting going like, oh, no.
Was SJSU your only offer?
I had SJSU, Reno, and New Mexico when that happened. And I wasn't going to go to New Mexico. I wasn't going to go to Reno. I was like, stay in California.
Yeah. Damn.
So, yeah, I was all worried. Then the new guy came in, Carragher, and luckily I came here on my visit in December, and he still extended the full ride offer that McIntyre extended to me.
So, but McIntyre didn't want to recruit you to Colorado?
Because I talked to the guy that was in charge of our area. Oh, what was his name? I don't know. He was the O-line coach at the time.
Yeah.
But they already had too many commits. So they said, like, you could, like, come, like, walk on and, like, probably earn one in, like, a year. But I was kind of set on getting the full ride. And
yeah, that's right. I understand that. Damn. Fuck, that's tough.
then, like, because I'd taken serious, like, out-of-state tuition, all this stuff. I was just like, yeah, I don't want to have to.
Yeah. I had a couple people from my high school go to Colorado. They got full rides there. That
Dude,
place...
Colorado's crazy now because of Dion.
Fuck, dude. And, well, I don't know, because they they lost 60 players, dude. 60. I know he'll get them back, don't get me wrong. But I don't feel like it's going to be a little bit of a... and then they'll come back.
I know, because he brought a lot with him. And a lot of other guys started to commit there from other schools.
How many years does he have left with his son? Because I know he's got Travis for 2 more if he wants him, realistically, probably.
I think his son also 2 more. Also 2.
Travis has 3 because last year's his freshman year.
Yeah, I think he has 2 with his son.
So he's got at least two more.
He's getting all these forces. I think they had one of the better recruiting, not like top, but they had a really good recruiting class. And did you see the picture from their spring game last year to this year?
Mm-mm.
Maybe a couple thousand people in the stands.
This year packed?
It was packed. And it was snowing. It was like below, like, it was cold.
Yeah. Fuck Colorado. Go
I like
Bruins.
that state. Go Bruins. Oh my god.
You didn't know?
No, I know. Just
fucking Roll Tide, number 1. You already know. Gotta go Bama.
I know your dogs are named after it.
Dog is Bama. I love Bama. I mean, my dad's from there. Hometown state. You can't help it. And I grew up in the household. I grew up in the. I can't. I mean, dog. Like, you've met my dad. You know how he is. Like, he forces it upon you at certain.
Your dad's a legend, though.
My dad is a good time. My dad is a good time.
Absolute stud.
And then go UCLA's number 2, man. We always been UCLA fans, and I guess you can throw SJSU in there. Fuck it,
I used to love going to USC UCLA games.
Those are the time. UCLA games are a great time. That you tailgating on that golf course out there out front of the Rose Bowl. Oh man, I don't think there's much better times. I need to do it as a drinking age adult because I went there the summer after my freshman year. I went to a UCLA Arizona game, which was a good time.
Nice.
That was a good time. UCLA got their ass kicked or lost. But that was bullshit. But I don't know. We got some. Someone transferred from like Maryland or something. I don't know. Not Maryland. I don't know. To UCLA for quarterback because we lost DTR, Darian Thompson Robinson.
Oh.
I think he should have been drafted. I hope he got drafted.
You probably got an invite somewhere at least.
Yeah, because he would be a project, but I think I'd see him being serviceable, at least backup, if not, French starter, maybe. Needs some work though.
They all need work. Yeah. That's why I'm happy there's like the XFL and all that's going on.
You watching it?
I watch it if it's on, but it's giving guys who need that extra year or 2 of actual playing time and playing time at a high level. Obviously not the highest level, but still at a comparable level. it's good for him. Like that's going to give him that shot to be, maybe if they perform well enough, they can get that shot. Like, I mean, there's been a couple people that have been signed. I'm pretty sure I've seen.
Yeah, and what's his face last year from the USFL? Kadarius Toney, or no, not Kadarius Toney. The dude on the Cowboys, the MVP. He was like the returner this year. He made it to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
What was his face? I don't remember his name, but
Yeah, he's on the Cowboys though.
yeah, but from the USFL. Yeah, no, it's definitely a way. And then what's his face? The quarterback, the black quarterback. He played on the Panthers. PJ Walker. He played in the XFL,
He's
and
XFL,
that's
yep.
basically why he got signed for. So yeah, no, I mean, I definitely think it has its benefits.
It's more opportunities and still want to play football, especially because all these guys are young. They're all in their early 20s.
I saw Ben DiNucci. I was having some sort of game. I don't know. I just saw a little.
There's a kid. He's on the Houston Roughnecks. His name's Jack Snyder. He was, oh man, he came in when I was a junior on the team. Now he was this tall, big tall, 6'6", but weighed like 240.
Little pencil.
Now he's like some 6'6", 310 monster.
What position you play?
I think he plays guard and tackle.
Oh, okay. Damn, that's a big boy. That's a big fucking boy.
I mean, yeah, everyone's got to take after the Bama prototypes. When you guys had like Fluker and
Well, the thing with Bama though, it's not. It's. You think they're big, but they're not just big. The boys can move. Them boys, being big ain't it, dog. You need to have the feet. And I don't that now that's the culture, but I don't think people realize that early enough. Like you can be big all you want, but the athletic people are the ones that are truly making it. And even if you're not the truly, like look at Jason Kelsey. He's not that big. I mean, he's big, of course.
but Jason Kelsey, he's so technically sound.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly why he's so good. You know, he's got his footwork down. He's got his fucking movement down. He knows what he is doing, and he has. Because if we're talking about football, offensive linemen are the smartest people in the field
Oh yeah,
compared to anyone else. There's no one on the field smarter than offensive linemen because all the different formation and plays and knowing what to do at different times. Like playing offensive line is probably the most complicated position you can play other than quarterback in terms of like everything you need to know. Cause
especially as a center, because you're not only in charge of snapping the ball, you got to snap, and sometimes there might be a 0 or 1 on you, and you got to make that. You got to make that block.
and you have to it's as center you have to know what everyone else around you is doing. Everyone else. That's the toughest part. You like centers are the it is the toughest position to play.
Oh yeah.
Like look at our center from Ryan Kelly. I'm pretty sure he was like a Kuma de Laude or whatever the fuck that.
Oh yeah, Notre Dame. Yeah.
No, at fucking Alabama. Ryan Kelly.
No, who am I thinking of then? Sorry, there's another really good. Not Jansen. Is it Jansen? Sorry,
Maybe.
I'm thinking of something completely
But
different.
he had like high grades and he was insanely smart. Like I'm pretty sure Quentin Nelson's even still like a little bit over, but
Quentin Nelson. That's what I was thinking of.
oh yeah. He's Notre Dame. Yeah, he's our guard. He's left guard. But we have Ryan Kelly. He's kind of fallen off, and I understand he had some family problems happen. But you have to be like yeah. I remember just playing online. It's complicated, man. Like, and it is the people because I wasn't the biggest dude on the field when I was playing, especially when we were playing at JV, and just because I understood the game a little bit better sometimes than the other person across from me, it made it easier to win the battle. Because usually, especially at center, you're typically because you're snapping the ball, not having to go one-on-one unless there is zero technique, then you're kind of fucked. But if they're shaded as one, you're typically going to have a double team, and you're either going to snap it, double team. If it's running the ball, you're going to be you'll be taking over, and have your line your offensive guard shading up to the linebacker, or vice versa. So it's just using one or two hands at the time. It's pretty easy, but when you have that single technique, it's knowing what the fuck to do, recognizing blitzes, fucking changes in formation, shifts, and all that shit. It's complicated.
It's not an easy job.
No. Good time,
But when it's done right, your team succeeds.
for sure.
And it's beautiful.
For sure. Well, I feel like we should. I was gonna say we should talk about Sailor Jerry's night.
Which one?
Well, just in general. Well,
So,
What it involves.
Sailor Jerry's night
It
involves
what we did.
a handle of Sailor Jerry's, 2 to 3 willing participants,
Occasionally 4.
occasionally 4, if he didn't want to tap out all the time.
Who?
Brian.
Yes, yeah. Okay, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
And it was just debauchery on the highest of levels. That was so much fun, though.
Well, like, the only one, I know I did it a few times, but the only one I truly remember part of, because we started our night that way. Usually Sailor Jerry's night did not start our night that way. It was like kind of like a quarter night decision. We're like, let's do it.
Let's just do some Sailor Jerry's.
Yeah. But the one night we started on it, it was me, you, Phil, and Babcock. Mm-hmm. Phil was hurt. He wasn't going out, but he just said, fuck it. And we're just like...
Yeah, he was...
And then, I don't know if you... Okay, I don't remember. Okay. I remember what happened, because I remember being at SIG. We were just drinking. I don't know what everyone else was drinking for, but I was going to crash Kappa Sig's social with ACT.
I think me and Phil were just drinking Sailor Jerry's just to drink it that night.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and Babcock and I were like, we're going to get really fucked. So we decided to do this with everyone. And then all I remember was going to Kappa Sig, crashing it. I remember having the handle of Sailor Jerry's in my hand. And then, like, going into a room, talking to someone, and that's it. And that was, like, within, like, the first 5 minutes of the night.
Damn.
Give me your perspective, but then I want to talk about the next day.
What was the next day when we had to go do that retreat? Yes. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that was so bad, man. Oh, okay. I just remember me and Phil were having a conversation, and we're just like, Sailor Jerry's? I'm pretty sure I was like, Sailor Jerry's? And he was like, okay. And then we go out and we go get the handle. And I think we come back and we run to you and Babcock, like in main room. And we're like, you want to join us? And Brian's like, no. And we're like, don't be such a little, And then, yeah, from there it just went crazy. Then you were like, let's go to Kappa Sig. And we're like, all right. And we go to Kappa.
Did Phil go with us?
I think Phil limped his way there.
Oh, that's
because he just he hurt his knee again.
Yeah.
And so he was like kind of just hobbling around, which I feel your pain now, Phil. I feel it. But yeah, that was, I don't remember much. Like, I remember going to Kappa Sig and pretty much getting food at like 1:30.
I don't remember that.
And then like I lost you and I lost Brian. So I was just kind of like, I wonder what Cody's up to. He should be okay.
I always made it home.
I hope he's okay.
Well, the worst part was we had the ritual retreat in Stanford. We had to be up at 6 a.m. the next morning. No, earlier than that, we had to be at the house at 6 a.m.
Dude, I was on the couch. I went in the same clothes we went out. I was wearing just basketballs because I'm planning on out. I was wearing basketball shorts and like there's a t-shirt. And Phil's like, we gotta go. And I was like, what? Like we gotta go where?
Yeah.
Ritual retreat. And I was like, oh. And then we had to load all those books into his car because he was an SUV at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was the only one. And for some reason, it was just me, you, and him, and someone else in the car. Maybe like. And it just happened to be us. Like, why did we all three, the worst people, the people who got the most drunk the night before, all of a sudden had to be in the same fucking car? And I remember Phil saying at one point when we're like halfway to Palo Alto, he's like, honestly, guys,
I don't think I should be driving.
I just remember sitting there just
we do not condone drinking and driving.
No.
But
and like, at that point, technically, he was probably sober, but like, oh man, I remember sitting.
Because I remember he parked, he looked over and he did that his like little laugh he does.
Yeah.
We're all just like, are you kidding me right now? I was sweating so hard.
No.
I was detoxing in that room.
Oh, for sure. No, I remember because I was sitting next to you and you kept getting on my shit for falling asleep. Because I kept yeah, you'd be like, we're all fucking hungover. Just stay awake. And then
because you were a J at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I was. And then I just remember, but eventually I came back too when we went back to their house.
Yeah.
I remember this specifically because you were pissed and you were sober, bro, that day. You were sober exact that day. And you were pissed. So I remember because I started drinking and you were mad at me because I was drinking. I was like, dog, I'm not sober, bro. What the fuck? And we met, I forget his name, but the dude with the chaw. and he gave us someone else. We met.
Oh, the guy gives the house tour?
No, well, first we got the look.
He did not like us in his territory.
Dog. Okay, so like Sigma Chi, notoriously like very white fraternity nationwide. Like, okay, very few black
Unless
people.
you're at San Jose State, very cultured.
Even still.
I mean,
yeah.
You should see it now.
Oh yeah, now. Different story. I meant when we were in it, but so we went to the Stanford Sigma Chi house, and there is one black guy. This motherfucker was, and like I consider myself a very white black guy in general.
I mean, yeah, same here. I mean, I was raised by white parents. I'm adopted.
I remember his name. I'm not gonna say it, but I remember his name. I'm not gonna say it. But he defined uppity nigga, bruh. Like ball cap, khaki pants, like long polo shirt. You know what I mean? Like the long sleeve polo shirt. And then I forget what he had like hot like
he was wearing Sperry's.
He's wearing Sperry's. That is correct. And then like the rolled up like khakis or whatever the fuck. And he looked at us like we were just like a different breed. Like he was like, "There's other black people in my territory. Yeah. This is not okay."
He was not. I remember eating like they gave like that cracky little burger, and I remember eating it, and I looked up, and he's just staring at us in our direction, and I'm like, "This motherfucker, what is he?"
You go, Cody, walk over there. And he's just staring. He's just staring at us. Oh,
that was that was great.
And I remember, but the reason why I bring this up is the dude, what's his name? Sam? Or
who?
Dude with the child gave us a tour.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Anyways, cool. He was cool as fuck. Oh shit.
Oh no.
It's okay.
I'm gonna bring you some Velcro tape. You can just Velcro tape it like, to like the.
It's heavy. That's the only thing.
Oh no, just so it sits.
Oh, that's actually a good idea.
Facilities management, baby.
That's actually a very good idea.
I Velcro a lot of things down.
Hey, think smarter, not harder, man. No, the other way. Yeah, no, that's the right way. Think smarter, not harder. See, who cares? But he was giving us the tour, and I just remember at one point the other dude was in like the hallway. It was just like. Like staring at us, and I was just like, "Dog, what did we do to you?" Yeah. And we went up and introduced ourselves at one point.
He was just not having it.
He was like, "Nah, bruh, nah." And they wanted us to come back that night for a party, and I considered it, but I was kind of scared I might get murdered or drugged by that motherfucker. I don't know. That shit was scary.
That was interesting.
I was like, it was just like.
Because I remember thinking while we were getting the tour, I looked at you, I was like, dude, what is his issue with us? Like, we don't even know you.
And it was us. It was specifically us. Like, you could tell. It was just, oh, man. They were a good time, though, in general. Stanford SIGs. They were a good time.
Yeah, I never had a bad interaction with any SIG from anywhere, actually.
Chico could be a little rowdy.
They were cool in the Brotherhood retreat that we had at State.
Not the Brotherhood retreat. You're talking about the conference or whatever. Because the Brotherhood. I
never went to the conference.
It is the Brotherhood retreat.
I never.
No, not that. Not that. Okay. Not that. You're right. It is like the council or whatever.
And we decided like we weren't supposed to drink that night, but we all drank that night. And they brought like all this brunettes with them.
Oh yeah. No. I remember because you
ever had this? What is this? Chico water.
I woke up to you calling me saying, "Where the fuck are you?" Because I was still in bed drunk. I had drank so much because like when I'm like a sweaty sleeper, right? So I had fallen asleep on top of my phone and I had sweated so much that I got water inside my phone, so my phone was broken. Because I was that fucking pissed drunk because all we drank was fucking beer. So I was hydrated drunk, but I was pissed drunk. And I was just hung over the whole... I remember one time, at one point, I left and skipped the class to take a nap, and you were so mad at me. You're like, you fucking asshole. I'm hungover too, and I have to be here because I'm on exec. And I was like, well, guess what, Trav? I'm not on exec, and I don't give a shit. I'm gonna go take a nap. I'll be back. And you were just like, this motherfucker.
Because yeah, I had to do all that, and like I forget the one guy's name, but he noticed because I was chewing like the whole time, and he noticed I was chewing. He was like, let me get a little," and I was like, gosh, and he wanted to re-up like 3 times throughout the day, and I was like, bro,
This motherfucker. Stop mooching off me. I hate mooches. Actually,
our I shouldn't say this, but our coaches and like staff would do that because they knew like a lot of us chewed. Because you're not supposed to. But NCAA regulations, it's like a banned substance. I'm like, it does nothing.
Yeah.
It just keeps me awake at 6 a.m. for meetings. Yeah, I'd have coaches come like knock on my door, like da, da, da.
You got that.
He's
good.
like, you have a 10 on you? Yeah, let me get it.
I never got into that. I've done like because they make weed pouches for it, so I've done that. That's cool, but I would never. I don't think I'll get involved with the
I
job.
can't do it anymore because they got rid of my favorite flavor.
What's that?
Grizzly wintergreen.
You should try. They got these. You should try the THC one or the CBD ones. The wintergreen one it smells just like the.
Maybe
it's cool.
I just did I just have Zins now, but
I don't know what that is.
it's just nicotine. There's no tobacco, so you don't spit. Which is like the whole point of why I like even still chew.
Yeah.
Is mostly just the oral fixation of like I've done so many things while doing it. It just makes sense for me.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, but nicotine like that feels not my thing. Like blunts, I don't like blunts. I don't fuck with the cross high or spliffs or fucking mokes. That shit's disgusting.
Oh, high garden kids. They loved it.
But when they were there, that was before I really smoked, so I just would see it and that shit was disgusting, dog. Like, how?
Keon loved American Spirits, the blue ones, I think.
Ugh, I don't know.
Yeah, they love that stuff.
Ugh. College was. Oh, you're talking about this with Danny, but like, you gotta have fun in college. You gotta push the limits. You gotta experience shit. You gotta. We talked about this a little bit before too. Like, you gotta have a good time. At least not all the time, but sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you need to say, "Hey, I got a final tomorrow, and I'm gonna go with peanuts." Cause everyone's there. Cause most people finish their finals, but I still got one.
I got a 95 in the class. I can get a 40 on the final.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go.
You need to calculate the risk and understand. Well, I remember. Do you remember when Kappa Sig had that house behind?
Where the broken fence was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Clubhouse, I think it was called. Something like that.
Something like that.
Yacht Club, maybe? No,
Yacht Club was ours.
That was the one I was talking about.
Yeah, it was Yacht Club.
Okay, it was Yacht Club. Okay, that's what it was. Okay. Anyways, that year was when I started hanging out with them a lot, and I was invited over there a lot during those finals times. There in peanuts, so I was drinking all the time, and I shouldn't have been, because I needed to make grades. I'm pretty sure. No, I didn't. Never mind. So I was just drinking, and I went into a final for electrical engineering, like a coding class the next day, hammered. Don't ever do that. Don't do that. Unless you're like some super genius that can handle it, don't do it. Because Anthony carried me through that thing, dude. Luckily, we were in the same class. And this is before he pledged too, so like he was still like the goody two shoes, and he just looked at me and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, No.
Then he up and joined the next semester.
Yeah, Chippy. What a time.
Big fudge.
Dude, that was probably one of the worst nights of college. Maybe one of these days we'll have like a you and Anthony pod. We can talk about that. But I want to get into the NFL draft or the NFL in general. Who did you guys have a first round pick?
No.
You did not.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I love it. Yes. No, I don't love it. How do
you feel about Sean Payton?
Let me put it this way. So when like Russell first came, everyone's like, "Oh, are you so excited?" I'm like, I don't know, because we had Nathaniel can't hack it, and it was just not. I wasn't so high on it. Like, we had all the weapons, we had a solid running back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just so painful to watch and be a Bronco fan and just sit there and be like, this is us all the time. Like we're never really, really bad, but we're also never really, really good.
Except the year
Was that when?
2015.
So yeah,
Was that 2015?
yeah.
Yeah, that year was
Super
great.
Bowl. That was cool. That was awesome.
Was that against the Panthers?
Hmm.
Yeah,
And Cam Newton was MVP.
yeah, I remember that. That shit was
But
wild. Von Miller. Von Miller turned up.
love Von Miller.
Von Miller's a beast, dog. He's still a beast.
I'm
Still.
excited for this like upcoming year, but
Well, you get who's
can't-
that fool you had at running back that was hurt?
Javante
Yeah, so he's healthy
from
again.
North Carolina.
He's healthy again, and then
We have a good young tight end in Greg from UCLA, Dolchich.
yes, baller,
Got a ruin for you.
baller. Baller.
I'm excited, and what's crazy though is this third round, the white cornerback that everyone's talking about.
You want to talk about him, Riley Moss?
Riley Moss.
Yeah, from Iowa, right?
Another Iowa boy.
Of course, from the only place of course, if you're gonna get a white fucking quarterback, because I don't think there's any white quarterbacks in the league. Not that I can think of, non-notable.
They're all safeties.
Yeah. So let's see if he'll stay. Anyways, but of course he comes from Iowa. You know,
Man.
Lyman University. They're not known for their defense over there in the Big Ten. Is that Big Ten?
Yeah, they're Big Ten. They're not bad. They're not as bad as like the Pac-12 or the Big. Oh, I should say the Big 12. The Big 12 is the worst defensive conference.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of just crazy. It's like third round. That's high.
Tybeck.
It's a high pick. So
And who's your corner too?
does Kareem Jackson play safety or nickel? I don't know. We signed back Kareem Jackson for a year. To be honest, this is kind of embarrassing as a fan of the team. Because of last year, I'm just like, when the first game starts, we're gonna start from there. Like,
Yeah.
it was.
Well, you already have what's his face from Bama.
Oh yeah, well, Patrick Surtain, PS2.
PS2. He's a baller. He's a baller. He's the real deal.
I got in an argument with someone. I was like, they're like, oh, who's the top tier corner? And I was like, oh, Patrick Surtain the second, not Trayvon Diggs. And I was like,
Not even a competition.
I was like,
Okay,
listen, he's good at jumping the ball. If he guesses
his
right,
game.
if he guesses right, he's good. But watch all the times he's guessed wrong, he's given up 40 yards, 50-yard plays.
Yeah.
Surtain, he doesn't try to do that.
He's
He plays
disciplined.
He's a lockdown man corner.
Yeah.
So he
And
can
he's
be put on your one.
big.
He's 6'2", 6'3".
And he's like 215.
Yeah, he's a big
Physical.
corner.
He's physical. I mean, he played Bama. We're physical.
Corners are getting bigger too.
Yeah, which just sucks for receivers because I feel like receivers are getting smaller.
Cause it's all about the speed now.
Yeah.
Like, especially with someone like Hunter Renfro. Like, Hunter Renfro's not even fast. He's just a solid route runner.
Yeah.
But to be just shifty enough and nimble enough is like, your slot can be a game changer.
Well, speaking of that, the Colts drafted a kid named Josh Downs, I think out of UNC. You heard of him?
No.
He's exactly that, what you described. He's not very big, but he's not very fast. He's around like a 4.5, so 4.5. Not too fast, but decent. But his route running is impeccable. And he had Reggie Wayne coming up to him after the combine saying, or coming up to him after the draft saying, or before the draft saying, you were the best receiver in this draft. So they're thinking, I mean, because the Colts, we didn't resign Paris Campbell, we let him go to the Giants. So we're missing a slot receiver. We got Michael Pittman. We got Alex Pierce.
Alex Pierce is going to be, I think he just needs a little more time, but I think he's going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Towards the end
rookie
of the year, when he started like getting like those 6, 7, like 8 catch games, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he's gonna be a game changer.
He could be something. Pitt, he could stop fumbling the motherfucking ball. I think we could be okay, but I'm kind of over his shit at the same time. But Anthony Richardson.
How do you feel about that?
What's your opinion?
I mean, here's the thing, especially some of these schools, like, you always look so good in college. You look, like, if you're top tier in college, you look good.
Because
like, look at,
that's my issue. That's my exact issue.
because I always think back to the time was like, okay, we drafted Tebow, and everyone was like, oh, he's gonna be great, and then all of his flaws got exposed real fast, real quick.
Richardson wasn't good in college. He was good his senior year in college.
True.
He couldn't beat out Kyle Trask.
But that's all you need. All you need is a year. That's why the transfer portal's crazy now.
And the
Because
weapons too.
all you need's a year.
Here's my thought process, right? Colts O-line, nasty, right? We just need someone that can move in the pocket.
When healthy, yeah, nasty as hell.
His arm is great. His accuracy is truly his problem, right? Accuracy can be worked on. It can't be perfected necessarily in the NFL. Do you know who the Colts' new head coach is? Shane Steichen, offensive coordinator for the Eagles. How did he do for Jalen Hurts? Look at Jalen Hurts.
He did amazing.
Guess who he coached before that? The Chargers. He was there for Justin Herbert's rookie year. Right, and then his second year, I think. And he was their offensive coordinator. So, he's good at developing good, big, athletic quarterbacks with large arms. And that's what both of those, the only thing I'm not entirely sure is Richardson's brain when it comes to football itself. Because if he has a high football IQ, it's game over. Because the accuracy thing is just, it's more of anticipation nerve. But if he can somehow develop or has, because I do not know his game as well as I probably should as a Colts fan, it's game over for the league. You're
calling it game over like that.
If the football IQ, I have to see.
And also, if JT stays healthy.
It's not a running league.
It's not a running league, but there's something to be said when you can hand the ball off to a guy 20 times and he's going to pound that rock.
I agree. But it's not like we need JT if you have someone like Richardson. Because
Yes.
Because
I'm going to hear you out, but
you have to play 11 on 11 football, which typically isn't happening if you don't have a running quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if you have a JT changes the game. I mean, don't get me wrong. It makes it a completely different story. I'm not saying he's not a game changer, but it's not like we can't have a very effective running game with a Zach Moss or with if we had Naheem still. That's more what I'm saying.
No, I feel that, but the reason, like, someone like, was it Singletary? Is the Bills running back, for example?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reason Singletary was able to be a more productive role and be is because they have someone like... So, yeah, I am agreeing with you, actually, here. Because you have someone like Josh Allen, right?
Yeah, dual threat.
But at the same time, you can't have just to be Josh Allen. You can't just be Richardson. Because he's going to get beat up.
No, yeah. No, but all I'm saying is in the defensive mind, you now have to account for the quarterback.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So that's where it becomes a different story where if at the end of the day JT wants a big paycheck, I don't think he'll get it from us.
Yeah, he will. Why would you give that up?
I get what you're saying. I just feel like considering the salary cap, it's not like you can't... Because he's been hurt this whole past year. You know?
True.
We're paying him. We're paying Shaq. We're paying Q. We're paying Ryan Kelly. Oh, it's Daisy. We're just paying what?
How much is Leonard making?
A lot.
Yeah.
Is that underneath us?
It sounds like it's
coming.
Daisy.
Okay. He's making like 18 a year. Or 20 a year. We're paying DeForest Buckner 20 a year.
Okay, he's worth it though.
Yes.
That's a big man, causes a lot.
20 is a lot. That's like...
Yeah, but how many good inside people?
Yeah.
Minus the Eagles' new front lineup, which is gross. Jordan Davis, and they got that other cat now.
Yeah, they're fucking Georgia 2.0. Yeah, no, Nolan Smith.
That dude ran a 4.9 at 300 some pounds. Yeah, that's scary. That's a bear. That is a whole ass bear chasing you down.
No, Eagles are. We can talk about that. I just want to finish my thought on the Colts here for a second. The only thing is we have people we're gonna have to pay here soon too. We're gonna have to either decide on Pitt. We're gonna have to decide on Kwity Paye, Deo Odengbo. Kwity we can put off a year, but Deo we can't. We're also gonna have to decide on we just paid Mo. I think that's it. But I'm just saying that's a big contract, and Richardson will be cool for a bit, but actually I kind of see what you're saying.
Well, if he's on a rookie contract, you can pay JT,
especially for the first. Yeah. But that's 3 years. He's on the clock. Maybe not. You know what? You're right because
And he's a first round pick, so yeah, he'll be making money, but he's
no,
stuck.
because I mean, if he shows promise, it's not like what we'll likely do is pay him a decent deal year 3. He probably won't turn the lights on until year 4 or 5. Unlike most quarterbacks where they turn it on like 2 to 3, I think he's going to be a little bit more late of a complete development in terms of complete quarterback. I think his legs are going to help him a lot early, but in terms of turning on becoming like a complete quarterback image, it's going to come later on because he has to understand the game a little deeper.
Yeah, but do you think if he doesn't get it fast, he's just gonna be gone and use that like bait, trade bait?
No. Because why? At this point, like you spend a 4th round pick on him, you're gonna have to put in the time anyways. Like if you see promise, it's not like because they drafted him knowing he's gonna be a project quarterback. They've even said it. Like they know it's
Well,
not.
yeah,
Gonna
that's
be a
what
good
they
year.
say, but at the same time, a lot of guys get drafted and
But
in and out.
it's what you show though. You know, like if you're showing
You can show a lot of promise, but
if you're making
a
mistakes
lot.
consistently and not if you're making repetitive the same mistakes, you're
Yeah,
gonna be gone.
but still, but you're coming at this from someone who's played and you understand how, practice and time over time. A lot of people that are fans don't see that. They want it now.
But that's also why fans are not GMs and they're not
True,
owners.
but
And
when you
they're-
have pressure from your fan base, that does come into consideration.
I don't think our fan base is truly pressuring the Colts because we put.
I'm just.
fucking
It's a very
Matt
general.
Ryan.
It's a generalization.
I'm more coming from the side of I've seen exactly what Chris Ballard has done with our team, and he has not listened to a single thing the fans are preaching they want him to do. He doesn't give a flying fuck because it's what he's doing, and I honestly believe in what he's doing. I've seen the teams that he's built. The only thing he's been missing was a quarterback, and he had that snatched away from him. He had the golden ticket with Andrew Luck. So,
Oh man, if you guys still had luck,
it'd be
game changer. Oh,
we would be Chiefs level.
oh yeah, easily.
It wouldn't even be a question. Even right now, we would be dominating all up and down the league. Like it sucks because he's smarter than Patrick Mahomes, just as athletic, if not more willing to take a hit. Like he's like a combination of Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen in terms of the physicality and the physical traits. Like it's the dude was insane, man.
No, I really liked Andrew Luck.
I know, so sad, but Richardson's got promise. It's gonna take a bit.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a fun year. I feel like a lot of professional sports have gotten like a lot. I don't know. Maybe some getting older. Have gotten a little bit better. I feel like just like the watching and just the overall like players letting them more be like themselves. Like look at Jamal Williams. That dude's a whole clown, but I love his interviews. I love.
Yeah, that's fair. He doesn't give a fuck.
Too bad he's suspended.
PD.
No, was it PED?
I thought.
Who got in trouble for gambling?
Oh, that wasn't him.
Wasn't him. Okay.
That you're thinking of Jamison Williams. Yes, Lions wide receiver.
No, the running back, one with the dreads, the one that's like super into like anime.
I don't think it wasn't him for gambling.
No, but he got in trouble. James got in trouble for gambling. Someone got in trouble for gambling.
Yeah, that was Jamison Williams.
But then is it really PEDs?
I didn't know he was in trouble, to be honest.
Because that's why they drafted that running back.
No, he's not on the Lions. He's on the Saints.
Pause this.
No, I can look it up while we're doing this. I'm telling you, because I've been watching this fucking. Oh yeah, you have your phone. Pull it up.
Same age. That's the weirdest topic. Where is it? Okay. We might. He went to BYU.
Yeah, I had. So,
He's LD. I didn't know that.
no, he's not. You don't have to be Mormon to go.
I
to
know,
BYU.
but like, there's the next looked up
Christian.
topic is like Jamal Williams LDS.
Yeah, I looked it up because I was curious because I was like, oh, do you have to be because of him? Yeah.
Wait, it doesn't. I can't even find anything. Is he suspended?
I don't think he's suspended.
I thought he was I thought he was hurt.
No, he was. They didn't re-sign him, and then the Saints picked him up.
Okay.
You're thinking of Jameson Williams. Oh, I have an eyelash on my
Yeah, Lions. Okay, well, no internet.
My
Lions,
apologies.
Jameson Williams among NFL players suspended for gambling policy.
Oh, shit. See?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Recording in 3, 2, 1. Oh, whoa.
But I'm trying to think of the NFL year. I mean, I'm excited. Hopefully, we have a good year. But I don't know.
It'll be a tough one
It's gonna be
for.
the Chiefs usually at the top, and
Maybe it will change this year. Maybe the Chiefs. Maybe I think the Eagles are. It's the Chiefs of the Eagles. I think it's kind of like
who
the
would be a sleeper team for you?
Jags, unfortunately.
Okay, I was gonna go with the Jets.
They got the talent. It's just it's how much it depends on how much Aaron meshes.
It's just for me, it's that young defense.
Yeah.
Like Quinnen Williams is 25.
No, I understand. I love me some good Bama boys, bro.
Like I just think they have a lot of upside as far as this whole year could be. So I'm pretty excited to see how they do.
I agree. I agree. There's upside. I just don't know if I could call them sleeper Super Bowl contenders.
I would not even. Okay, let's not go that far then.
That's what I'm talking.
I was going
about.
sleeper. Maybe it's just like they might have like a nice, 11, 12 win season. Maybe win the first round of the playoffs and probably lose, but
I can see that.
just to have that, because I feel so bad for Jets fans. I feel like they've been starving for something good.
Ah, fuck the Jets.
I mean,
Yeah.
we all deserve some dubs.
Yeah, some of us. Yeah, but yeah, I could see the Jets doing well. I mean, they were 7 wins last year.
Yeah, something like that.
Something so. I could see it. But I think unfortunately, because they also got Calvin Ridley,
Oh yeah,
and he's coming back this year.
Elijah Moore solid.
Yeah. And they've had I think they still have MJJ, Marvin Jones Jr. Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he's good.
Oh yeah,
He's really good. That defense is nasty too, so I don't know. I think it's gonna be a tough
they finally got a good head coach.
yeah, that's another thing too, and then it's another year with him, Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence together. So I think that's kind of where it's gonna be scary for them. But and plus they play in the South, where it's not gonna be a good AFC South division this year. Like Richardson's gonna be developing, Stroud's gonna be developing. Titans have Will Levis, who, I mean, if they start him, he'll still be developing.
They're just gonna feed the ball to Derrick Henry.
Even still, he's gotten hurt the past couple of years.
He's getting old, taking a lot of hits. I don't care how big you are.
Your body's gonna wear down on you.
Yep, especially as a running back.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of the divisions for the Jaguars for the taking. To be honest, they should be the favorite, and it shouldn't be close. But we'll see what happens. It's the NFL, and anything can happen. But
True.
I think it's just gonna be same old teams at the top. So it's getting closer and closer. I feel like.
Oh,
Except Patrick Mahomes. Go.
I felt that way in college this last year when Bama didn't make the playoff.
That was tough.
But that was tough. It's the first time in
That was tough.
your whole existence.
Yeah. No, I mean, but
I just
it had to
mean,
happen.
and that kind of goes back to the whole NIL deals and stuff like that, and kids caring more about playing time, I think, than actual being part. It'd be super cool to be part of Alabama's roster, but it's not cool if you don't get to play.
Yeah. I mean, and I feel like they want the caliber of people who are willing to go in there and put in the work, because it's not all about having the name and the fame and the glory. It's about how much work you're going to put in the back end, because those boys put in the fucking work. It is at the end of the day.
Yeah, because a lot of kids don't realize, okay, cool, you were a 4-star, you were a 5-star recruit. That's really awesome. But once you get on a college campus,
Everyone's a 4-star 5 recruit.
not even that, but no one cares.
It's true.
So, some junior who could have been a JUCO transfer has been grinding, been trying to work his way there, get there. You think you're gonna just walk in and take it from him?
He's going to take it.
You're gonna have to earn it. Same thing in the NFL too. You all the guys who become these stars. You're like, who are they?
Yeah.
I didn't know they went to some small school. Yeah,
It's all about the work, man.
it's all about the work.
It's all about it. But that applies to life. I've come to realize this too. It's the people that are putting in the work, but you have to be passionate about it. We're passionate about something. There has to be a driving force behind it, which a lot of people don't have, which is understandable. It's tough to find that Not only is it tough to find that, but it's tough to harness that energy and put it towards something. And
I got a question for you. Is there anything any of like your like Pop Warner or like college high school coaches like said to you or told you that you now it took you to like you were like an adult to realize like it all just kind of makes sense, or just certain like life things that like come up, you're like, oh,
No, because my experience with playing football probably is not what most people's was. Because I wouldn't necessarily say I enjoyed playing football for the most part. Like, I won't get into all the details, but I just even in like playing in Pop Warner, like it was fun, but I kind of felt like I was just doing it just to kind of like do it.
do it, yeah.
And then in high school it was the same thing, and there's more behind the story, but I kind of was like forced into it in a way, like not bad, but not. No. Just here, pull it on the thing if you want to pull it close. Yeah.
Pull over the whole table. All right, I think it's far.
But yeah, I would football. I wouldn't say was there was lessons I learned from playing football and like from coaching, like discipline and shit like that, and like. But it was more like what I learned from myself on what I can do, more than like what a coach could say. Yeah. Yeah, because I also wasn't that good. So I wasn't, when you're not that good, coaches tend to not give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
And that goes down from top to bottom.
Oh yeah.
All the way through Pop Warner. Like the kids that aren't that good, like, especially if like, I was a late bloomer. So like I went into freshman year of high school and I was like 5'4" and like 150 and just like this stubby little kid. And then by the end of my sophomore year, I was 6 foot, 200 pounds. But the coach that I had my freshman year ended up being the same coach for my same position my varsity year. So he already had his mindset about like who I was. And I knew that. And like, that's like when I went down and played JV, my JV coach was like, yo, like, I know you put in the work. Like, I know you like can play. Like, I'm definitely going to like recommend you and yada, yada, yada. And they get back up to varsity and they just don't give a shit. And I was like, well, if you don't give a shit, why the fuck should I give a shit? Like, especially like it's gonna take so much more work. And like, at that time, I wasn't who I am today. I was a shy little nerdy fucker. Like, I walked through high school with a 3.8 GPA. Like that was cake. Like, because the certain subjects just came to me, right? So part of that made me outcasted from the football team too, because there's sometimes some fucking airheads on the football team. Like, just because they're good at sports, they're all like popular and shit,
Yeah.
But if you're like just not like the normal, you don't.
If you don't fit the mold.
And like it can, yeah. So I won't get any deeper than that, but I feel like you'd probably do because I feel if you ask. So like I see the same thing. Like, did a coach say something to you that?
Yeah. So my first D-line coach here in college was Coach Jones, and
Such a defensive line coach name.
I know, it was awesome. And he made a point not only to be instructive when it came to football, but really instructive when it came to life. And he made me realize, and this is for everyone that plays sports, and like it's gonna be always part of your life, but if your whole life is this long, this is how much sports encompasses of that life. Don't sacrifice this portion for this portion, because this is going to be a lot more rewarding and a lot more fulfilling for you. Like, he told me, I'd rather all my ex-players be known as good fathers, good husbands, good people, a good son, than ever you were a great football player. It just, that meant more to him that he made sure we were ready for life as young men over just being a great athlete.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
That's
that
a good.
sticks
That's a
with
good.
me.
That's tough. That's huge to like get that point because I feel like a lot of people don't, especially like you hear it all the time with like pro athletes. They don't know it past anything past sports. Like there's nothing. They're not anything else outside of sports. Like there's nothing. There's nothing to them. That's huge.
Yeah, it's great to focus on. It's great to learn, develop, and be good at it. But don't ever sacrifice it for your whole life.
It's not your life. Especially, yeah. I feel like you kind of made that. You took that sacrifice with quitting football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not playing my senior year and finally actually like taking a look at who am I. Like I've always been like, even still today, I walk around people like, oh, you play football, don't you? Like, I did.
Dude.
I did.
Yeah, it's not who I am.
No longer. It's not who I am.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, being the size that you are, it makes sense, man. Like, I get basketball a lot because I'm a wild, winky motherfucker. He's like, no, I never played. I'm not good. I'm horrible, actually, so it is what it is. Actually, I was thinking about this, too. It's not like I never had any good coaches. I had good coaches, but I wouldn't say none that, like, made impactful.
Yeah, he was. And like we'd have like little like one-on-one talks every now and again. Those were always so good. And
It's a good time.
one day he told me, he's like, you know, you're probably not going to play in the NFL. I was like, I know that.
At least he was straight up.
And
about
he
it.
was like, but you are going to be really good at something because he's like, I see who you are, I see your character, and I see how you interact with people, and you're going to be successful in life, which is more important.
Yeah.
And I was like, why am I here?
Yeah. No, it's part of the journey, man.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that was just like a step in your. It was a part of the process, you know?
But it was nice to kind of have someone, especially like being 18, 19, to have someone insert that into my mind to really think about. Because like I've heard, you've heard it before, like, oh, football helps you in like later in life in sports. It teaches you good habits, all this stuff, and then actually being in a place of like fully being able to like comprehend my entire surroundings, not just like a portion of it. It really made an impact. And
That makes sense. It makes a lot of sense because football, it really does. It teaches you a lot, but having someone to make it come full circle,
Yeah,
make you
like-
truly fully understand what it can bring you is. It's not easy to find, you know. It's tough to find people that are willing to put themselves out there and truly coach young men that are. I wouldn't do it. That's for fucking sure. Like,
I've been thinking about it. I want to get into it.
you'd be good with coaching. You'd be good with coaching. You'd be one of the hard ass coaches, but you'd also be like one of the fun ones. You'd be like that, like one that like when they fuck up, you'll get on their asses, but when they're doing good, you're there celebrating with them at the same time. No,
I mean, I've always, this is like obviously future. It's like if I get lucky enough to have a son, even a daughter, both would be awesome. But I would never want to coach them. If they play sports, they choose to, I don't want to coach them. I want to be my kid's biggest fan and their number one supporter. If they want to go outside and like throw the ball around or they want to like talk about something, I'll be happy to talk about it. But I don't want to coach them. I don't want to have that weird parental coach relationship that I think is kind of awful for some kids.
I don't think like parents should coach their own kids.
No.
I don't think it was a negative experience for me, so I just don't think it's something that should. I understand, but it's just that like there's good and bad, but I feel like there's very few people that can differentiate the hey, this is dad mode, hey, this is coach mode, and it doesn't like bleed through in between. You know, I've seen it happen, but
Like, yeah, if my kid wants to go outside and like do some cone drills, like, yeah, I'll watch you do some cone drills, but like, we're gonna run through. And I'm gonna ask you like, well, how'd that feel?
Yeah.
If like this, I'm like, oh yeah, then let's try to do it this way, but like not just be like that overbearing. Like, you ever see that kid that was on your team that never wanted to be there, but his dad was like some star in high school?
yeah, living the dad the dad trying to live through the kid.
I felt so bad for those kids.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you really don't want to be here, do you?
Yeah, no, it's tough. I mean, but it also is like I said, it's a learning curve. It's kind of all part of it. Like it's.
But I will say this: if he's gonna do whatever my children decide to do, you are gonna be the best at it. Like, if you want to sit there and you want to be like a professional like gamer, all right, then we're gonna set something like you want to be good at this. Whatever you want to be good at, I'm gonna help you get there. I'm gonna help you support there. But like,
but it's also like that's another sense of like they have to like do the work. You can't make them do the work.
yeah, they have
That's
to want it.
Yeah.
I can assist with your want, but I can't give you the drive.
Exactly. And that's tough to instill in kids. I feel like it's the toughest part about being a parent is instilling that message to kids. Like, you can do what you want, but you got to do the work for it. You know?
But I will say, if you're going to commit to a team, like, let's say you're playing baseball and, like, a fourth of the way through, you're like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, too bad. You signed up for the whole season.
You finish it.
Yeah, you owe it to your teammates and you owe it to your team.
Yeah.
You owe it to them for you to be there because they are counting on you being there because
Yeah.
you committed just like they did.
Yeah.
Next season comes around, you want to do it? Cool. We won't do it.
Finish out.
But you're going to finish out.
Yeah. Finish the task at hand. That's what my dad would always say to me. Okay. Go ahead.
All right. Scenario.
Yeah.
You owe some people some money and like, let's say the IRS, and you want to not pay it, which you should always pay your taxes. Mm-hmm. But if you had to fake your own death, how would you do it?
I never thought about it because I wouldn't fake my own death.
It's a little morbid, but I thought it was a funny question.
You've thought about this, haven't you?
Explosion. This is what I would do. This is if I ever buy a house in California, which God maybe, I would dig a tunnel, maybe like 150 yards, away from the house, and then I would like get dropped off by like some friends, and I would like have the gas already on, and I would like light a match and I'd throw it, and I'd hop in the tunnel, and like my house would go up, right? But I have witnesses there that saw me walk in. They just dropped me off, and then my house exploded while they were still there.
What about the body?
It's an explosion. Fire damages a lot, and if I can leave, close there, like near the door, like near like the wherever like the stove, pretty much, I'd be mostly vaporized.
Yeah. I thought like it vaporizes the bone too.
If it's hot enough, it has to be really hot.
Okay, so big explosion.
Big explosion. We're going big. Like we might take out the whole block.
What if you fuck it up? You're only count for murder.
Myself?
No, because like if they find.
Oh yeah, if I blow up the whole block, yeah.
Yeah, like and then like they find you, they find out you're not dead, and like that you committed the crime. You're fucked.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
But I think that'd be the one because someone said I was talking with my roommate and some other people, and they said like, oh, like I'd go like disappear. I'm like where though? Because people are gonna try to find you, especially if they know you're going like hiking somewhere. Like people are gonna search. Like you got to make it like if you're gonna do that, you got to make it a scene to where you can just.
No, because people disappear. Like if like you were if I mean it wouldn't be that hard. I feel like if you were gonna say I'm gonna go hiking, and then you just go and move to a different country, and then like change your identity, like it wouldn't be that hard to just kind of like, especially like. I feel like because I don't have a ton of friends. I don't have a ton of people checking in on me all the time. So like if no one heard from me for a month or two, and then like all of a sudden I'm just gone, I don't think it would be like a.
I think an explosion just like quick and dry. Like blew
up. No, I
like
like your idea.
Let's close right there. All right, we're done. Like
no, I like the idea.
We gotta move on.
I like the idea, like but faking your own death. Yeah, I would just like. I think I would do like the disappearing one. Just like all of a sudden he vanished and like.
The reason I say this because I've been stuck at home with my popped Achilles. I watched all of House, and the last episode, which I totally forgot. He is in like this fire, and like because he has like a little cane, he like walks with a limp. But I guess like they find a body and they think it's him, so he pretty much faked his own death in like this warehouse fire. So like I'm thinking
he can go live his life.
Like. Well, because his buddy in the show, Wilson, his best friend, got diagnosed with cancer and has like 5 months to live. So he's like, we're just going to live out your last 5 months. And then that's how the show ends. It's them riding off on motorcycles.
That's kind of cool.
Kind of badass.
That's kind of cool.
I was in there, I was like, how would I pull that off? Like, if I had to be.
I might have to think about this. I might have to reconvene on this because that's a thought-provoking one. That's a thought-provoking one for sure. Okay.
It is.
Well, if you out there would know how you would want to fake your own death, comment down below and tell us how you would fake your own death because we want to know.
I seriously want to know.
Yeah.
I will, yeah.
Give us your opinion. All right. Well, that's how we will end it. Everyone have a great day.